and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the most expensive 50mm that Canon does and the cheapest 50mm that Canon does. Let's go! As I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about the 50mm 1.2 and the 50mm 1.8. We're going to go through the differences of why you might want one over the other. So, without further ado, as you can see, size is ridiculously different on here. This is the budget 50mm that costs around, well, I paid £160 for it a few years ago on eBay. The little pancake lens with almost no options on there, no stabilization. It has autofocus. It's a 1.8, so it's all right in light. Autofocus is okay, but it's not great. You literally have one button on there that says focus control. There's nothing much to it. And then on here we've got the 50mm that's got autofocus. The two focusing options on there for like full auto or not. It's not a stabilized lens, but it's an L series flagship lens, 50mm. You can see the size. If we go back to that, this is a 43mm filter adapter thread, and this is a 77mm. Not using a polarizer today, just because I don't have a step-up ring or step-down ring for the smaller 50mm. We're just going to go through the motions, see the colour rendition, all that good stuff. So, without further ado, first test we're going to do is both going to shoot them at 1.8, and you're going to see if you can see if anyone's sharper or not, and get your opinion. Comment below on these different tests, whether you think the sharpness is good to go and the colour rendition and all that good stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So there's a car coming up just behind me, but what we're going to do is going to set these both exact same settings. I'm at 250th of a second, 1.8 and 100 ISO. I'm just going to take the photo now. This is with the 1.2. Let's zoom in, nice bit of bokeh, nice and sharp throughout. I'm just going to stick on the 1.2. We're going to have exactly the same settings. I'm just going to zoom in, make sure that everything's sharp, in focus. Let's take the photo. Let's zoom in on the photo. So it'll be interesting to see. It's hard to see on the camera at the moment, but it'll be interesting to see. It doesn't look like there's been any difference. So let's go between the two exact same settings, and they look slightly different in framing, which I was actually surprised to see. I don't know what the difference. I don't know why one is more than the other. So the budget one, the colours were crisper. I don't know how that's worked out. Maybe it's to do with not having a hood, not putting a hood on both of them. So the budget one, you get a bit of fringing. If you look on the chrome of my badge, it's like purple fringing because of diffraction of the light, and the expensive lens, premium lens, you don't get that. I'm a bit confused of why the budget one you can see through the windscreen. There's a difference in the exposure. Not 100% why, but obviously these are both the raw images. We can edit them the way that we want afterwards. But straight off the bat, I am confused of why they would look so different. So yeah, I'm actually quite surprised. I didn't know what to expect with the difference of that much difference anyway on a tripod. But let's check the bokeh for both of them. The bokeh on the expensive one is much smoother than the budget lens. You get much better roll off much more pleasing, which was expected. Let's take a picture of the headlight and some details and see if we can see any differences between the two lenses. So I've just come down to the light now, trying to introduce some, as in the headlight, trying to introduce some difficulty for the lens to see what happens. We're at f1.8 again. I'm just going to take a picture of the light. Nice. Let's change the lens. So exactly the same settings. Try and get the same focus point, but that's probably going to be quite hard. Again, slightly different with field of view that it captures. Very different with the field of view that it captures. And you can see, I would argue that the expensive lens is way sharper than the budget lens. And you can see again the colour rendition, the fringing, the purple of the budget lens is much more pronounced. Quite hard to notice when it's not like a really bright day and there's not like lots of light, but we're on an overcast day, and you can kind of see if I zoom in that there are differences between the lenses. Not as much as I thought there was going to be though, but you're obviously paying for the premium quality, the weather sealedness of the larger one. It's obviously weather sealed, like I said. It's going to react better to hot and cold temperatures if you're in the Arctic, for example, or you're in the desert in the heat. It's going to change, and that's the sort of things that you're paying for. And obviously you're paid for a lot more glass, which is why it's bigger, and you get the 1.2 and the 1.8, those differences. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take two shots, one at 1.8 and one at 1.2, and you can see the difference in the bokeh, and comment below which you find more pleasing. So I've got the 1.2 50mm on there now. I'm just going to take a shot and show you what that looks like. Similar shot as what we did right at the start of the video. Crazy creamy bokeh behind, and then I'm going to swap the lenses over. Now got the 1.8 on there. I'm going to have to change the settings to adjust for the light, the extra 2 stops of light that I've lost. I'm going to take the photo and compare the difference. And obviously, as you can see, the bokeh is completely different. If we look at the tree behind, as expected, the bokeh is different. But it's not just about the bokeh that's the trade-off. It's the fact that you get an extra 2 stops of light when you're changing between 1.2 and 1.8. So we go 1.2, 1.4, 1.8, goes up like that in increments. So the f-stop can drastically improve your end product. So if you're in a low light situation, you're shooting the interior of your car, and you need an extra 2 stops of light, which is loads, it means you're not going to bump up your ISO. So if bumping up your ISO is going to make you spend an extra 3 grand for this lens, then happy days. But I'll be intrigued to see what you think in the comments between the 50mm 1.2 and the 50mm 1.8. So just to recap then, with the 50mm 1.8 and the 50mm 1.2, pros and cons. Pros for the 1.8 is that it's cheap, lightweight, compact, and it's not going to break your bank balance. Cons is that the autofocus isn't great. It introduces fringing. It's not the sharpest compared to this one, and there's not as many options on there. It's not weather sealed, all that good stuff. Pros, obviously, can be completely opposite to that. The pros are that the sharpness is crazy, especially for portraits, but obviously for car stuff, the sharpness is good. It tries to eliminate as much fringing and improves colour rendition, saturation, all that good stuff. Cons are that it's crazy heavy compared, obviously a lot bigger, a lot more expensive, but it's good, it's weather sealed. It's obviously a much more premium feel. And then a little bonus feature right at the end, we're not going to test it today. I have my Pentax, I'm going to put that there, my Pentax 50mm 1.7. Nothing's sharp at 1.7, but I'm yet to use it for any car stuff, but I used to use it for some little documentary videos that I've done before. I might get it out one day, do a specific video on it of going around with a vintage lens. This is like a 1980s Pentax 50mm, lovely lens, absolutely tiny as well. If I take it off, you can see how small it is, even smaller than the Canon that I've got here. But when it's got the adapter and everything else on it, it's bigger, slightly bigger. But yeah, anyway, great lens. Let me know if you've got any vintage lenses, and if you like vintage lenses, what ones you have. But yeah, this is a cool one. But anyway, here are 3 50mm that you can choose from. What 50mm have you got? Doesn't have to be Canon, could be Sony, all that good stuff. Just let me know in the comments below. I look forward to more videos where I do kit reviews about car photography and videography, and when we get to do some POV stuff using these different lenses on location, shooting people's cars, shooting car events and all that good stuff. If that's something you're into, like, subscribe, all of those cool things. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment below of anything that you've enjoyed throughout this. If you've got any questions, if you've got anything that you want to compare, if you've got anything you want to dispute, I'm happy for all of that good stuff in the comments. Just go for it, go wild. Let's get the engagement going for this community. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one.